Hi, I'm Jeff Camarda with another Fiduciary Focus. This time talking about annuity case histories of troubling annuity sales we've seen in our practice over the years. I call this one The Politician's Wife. Judy came to one of our Got Annuities workshops in Jacksonville some years ago, driving over 2 hours to get to the first scheduled session, even though one much closer would be held just a day later. But she was nearly frantic and could hardly wait. She was also simmering mad. Judy came up to me after the workshop wanting to learn if she could do anything about the annuity that she said she never wanted, but had unwittingly purchased for something like $500,000. It seems she'd had agreed to invest with a representative of the stock-brokerage arm of a major life insurance company, and had only learned that a variable annuity was the vehicle when the contract arrived in the mail some weeks after she agreed to the transaction. Now, she claimed that the broker had referred to the investment merely as the product and had never told her that it was an annuity, in fact. Later on, she came in with her husband, a very prominent political figure in a small Florida city. He's also a practicing attorney. And these were both intelligent people with a substantial net worth, well educated. He reiterated her contention that they were never ever told that their investment would be an annuity, in a life insurance contract, at all during the sales process, which had spanned many months. They said they also had never received a prospectus, and one was not to be found in the file on the product, rather extensive file, even though Judy's husband claimed that she was a very meticulous record keeper, and certainly looked that way to me. Now, apparently they'd received a very large lump sum from the sale of a piece of real estate, put the cash in a money market account with the broker, who was referred to them by a family member. They did not invest it right away, they said, although they wanted to. That's why they went to see him, because the product was not ready, according to the broker. This is kind of hard to fathom, since hundreds, thousands of investment vehicles, myriad variable annuity products, among them mutual funds, stocks, ETFs, what have you, were certainly available at the time that they wrote their check. And I can only surmise that this new annuity product had some special commission, contest value, or other allure for the broker, which is why he waited and kept them out of the market out of intended securities exposure for what I think was an inexcusable time. Now, in answer to specific questions by the lawyer and his wife, again a lawyer, very, very clear questions, I'm sure, the broker said that he would make next to nothing on the transaction, when in reality, I found out after some analysis, the commission was something on the order of $40,000, nearly 10%. Moreover, the couple was concerned about fees and charges should they choose to access their money, and they specifically asked about them. They were told there'd be no charges or penalties if they chose to withdraw the entire amount at a specified date they told him was important to them. In actuality, the surrender charge on their target date was about $50,000, according to the contract that I read, the annuity contract, of course. Now, before coming in, Judy had read this in the policy that she got in the mail and called the broker about it. He told her that she had misunderstood the documents and that there would in fact be no charges, so she should not worry about it, and just send in the policy delivery receipt, which basically was evidence that she received the contract, and after a certain number of days she would really have no right to return it. As it turned out, this broker's answer was entirely factual, but completely unrelated to the question that they had asked. She said, would there be any charges? And his answer was, no, there'll be no excise taxes, but that really was completely misleading, because there would be substantial charges, $50,000 in fact, if they wanted to get their money back. That, in my view, amounted to an unconscionable omission, if not outright misrepresentation, or worse. Now, whether this was due to ignorance or deceit, my money's on the latter, but either one doesn't matter, of course. they still weren't fairly disclosed as to what they were investing in. They'd also asked, they said, about other fees and charges for the investment, and were told that they were so nominal as to be insignificant. Now, of course, the insurance and mutual fund charges, technically the sub-account charges in a variable annuity, were on the order of several percent a year, certainly not insignificant, or over $15,000 annually for these folks, and asked before the oppressive taxation fact pattern, which we won't even get into on this video. So both the politician and his wife were quite angry, understandably, when they learned of the magnitude of the miscommunication to which they had been subjected, and asked me to help them file a formal complaint requesting a return of their money. Now, sadly, we see this sort of a story pretty frequently in our practice. And unfortunately, by the time we get the facts and do the analysis, there's not a whole lot that folks can do to get their money back. Certainly, they have options, and in many cases, they're better off getting out of the annuity, eating the fees, and doing something different. But far, far better to have the information before you accept the product and are roped into an annuity with some expensive charges and surrender fees that you might not be able to get out of. Food for thought. Hope you found this useful. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jeff Camarda. By the way, I have written a very, very extensive free guide on annuities, which I call the Unvarnished Truth About Annuities, which is just chock full of information about surrender charges, fees, the various types of annuity contracts that you may find to be very useful. If you'd like a free copy, no obligation other than giving us information so we can communicate with you, go ahead and email me personally if you wish. My email is j@camarda.com, or just call our office at 800-262-1083. That's 800-262-1083. Be very happy to get your free copy. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time. I'm Jeff Camarda.